Many students in both high school and college find themselves struggling to navigate career options after graduation, and this year has proven even more of a struggle for students and graduates due to shutdowns and layoffs related to the coronavirus. A company is now helping navigate through hurdles to be better prepared for the job market and to find employment. And joining me now to talk about the program is Briar Dougherty, the CEO and founder of Career Organics. Briar, thanks for joining us. I know myself, I graduated grad school back in 2008, which was right in the middle of the Great Recession, and finding a job back then was very difficult. This is a completely different beast, and I feel like, and I may be wrong, but I feel like job options are even more scarce this time than it was back in 2008.
They really are. I work with a lot of recruiters and hiring managers across this country as well as other countries, and I have an entire clientele overseas. And what we've seen is, they were over the summer 2 months ahead of us, where I saw some jobs coming back on, but they're not entry level. A lot of them are, really business sales related, marketing related, so that the businesses can really pick back up what they've lost this year. So I'm seeing that there are jobs out there. It's that there's a larger candidate pool. It's much more difficult to get your name ahead of the game. And then there's young professionals, vying for jobs that more seasoned professionals are now trying to go after because they've lost their job. So it's unprecedented in the job market right now.
And you say these positions that are available, they are, looking for people with experience. How does someone that's coming out of high school or college or even grad school find a job that's open or a position that's available to them, having no, I guess, real career experience to begin with?
Yeah, so this is something that I've been teaching a lot. We have a program that's really dedicated to these students, and I'm speaking to a high school in January, and it's specifically for getting the experience, whether it's volunteer work, whether it's internships. This is the time to actually go out, and if you're working for your mom or dad or your grandparents' business, that you actually put it on a resume. The things that I see a lot of students really missing out on are the ability to translate. So they have experiences. Maybe they're in student government. Maybe they had really great grades, and they volunteered at a local shelter or community rec center or something before the coronavirus hit. And these are the things that will absolutely help them get ahead. Additionally, I will say this for college age students and the students that are really active, there are student government opportunities, even sororities and fraternities. I wasn't typically, pushing students into those, opportunities before, but anything is better than not having any experience coming out of school. So right now, if you can volunteer, if you can get an internship, and it's about not being as picky, but still making sure that you're getting really good hands-on experiences. So if you can get that internship that's unpaid versus paid, I would take it now.
Yeah, because that also shows that you are, I mean, for lack of a better word, you're not lazy and you're willing to do work. And I know job gaps, employment gaps on resumes are not very desirable. It is something that's going to be on a lot of people's resumes during this time. So it is going to be very common for employers, in the next couple of years to be looking at a resume and see 2019 was, a year where people did have job gaps. But in order to kind of fill that, even if you're not necessarily working, like you said, go out, volunteer, do something hands-on. But would you also recommend, I mean, obviously depending on what industry the applicant is looking to work in, perhaps taking online training courses, doing online, anything that would kind of improve their skill or show a potential employer that, I may not have had an opportunity to work for someone, but I was working to fine tune my own skills?
Absolutely. So there's a ton of trainings now on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is blowing up with this. There's opportunities like Growth Tribe, which is an Amsterdam-based company. So people that are maybe not in the United States or they were traveling. There's other opportunities with like General Assembly, which is an amazing organization that I partner with as well, that you can get hands-on training, certifications afterwards, and it will show that you're absolutely working toward, just absorbing more information. The additional piece is this, is that if you can't get your hands on, training that's paid, I'm telling you, volunteer opportunities, one area that I'm seeing really thrive right now is nonprofits. And so I am a COO for a nonprofit as well. And this is an opportunity to take, a lot of them have lost funding this year. And so they're low on budget, low on resources, and absolutely need help. So if you're in marketing, if you're in technology, if you're, looking for any of those business acumens, operations roles, those would be an amazing target for you to get your hands-on experience, can say you're actually working in it, and there's plenty of opportunities out there to seek.
Now, I know a lot of companies may be hiring internally if there's a transfer of some sort, a lateral transfer, it's done internally in order to avoid outside forces potentially bringing COVID-19 in. Let's say I want to work for a specific company. Would you advise me to do it or not, to reach out to this company if you're recommending people, work for free, if that's an option? If, let's say, they contact company A, if I contact company A and say, I'm looking to, you know, intern with you guys, for example, unpaid, to kind of get your name into the door with that particular company. They can kind of see how you work, maybe not in person, but they kind of see they can see your work ethic firsthand, and then maybe open the door for you once the ball for employment starts rolling again. Would you recommend something like that?
It's a great option, but I would say this is that I wouldn't be going after the larger organizations. They're going to be a lot harder, much more red tape, longer, kind of tread for you to go down, and that can be burnout for people. I live in reality, and I want students and professionals at all levels to live in reality, because there's a lot of fatigue going on right now. So what I would say is, if you're reaching out to local, so if you have a LinkedIn profile, super important to have a LinkedIn profile nowadays, because people are absolutely more open to networking than they ever were before. So if you can connect on LinkedIn to a local organization, I see more traction happening there than waiting for your Amazons, your eBays, your Facebooks, Instagram, all of those companies to respond to your request, because they're already flooded with requests. I'm saying the smaller organizations that people aren't reaching out to are absolutely, they're on the table. So if you can reach out and make a warm welcome for yourself, absolutely. I would totally support that.
Yeah, and that's better than getting lost in a sea of applicants where really everyone is trying to reach out and kind of put themselves in the same position. Briar, is there any other tips that you think are important for students that may be graduating soon, or current job seekers that you think maybe this is the one thing that they need to do? We have LinkedIn. Reach out to nonprofits or wherever you can find an internship opportunity. Make sure those employment gaps are filled with something. But is there anything else that you think is important that they should kind of hone in on?
Very, very important. Great question. Thank you. It's translating your experience to your target. So if you have been a young professional and you got your first marketing role and you're a marketing coordinator right now, and maybe you're just finishing up and you're graduating in spring 2021 and you're raring to go, well, what you need to do is translate that skill set on your resume, on your LinkedIn, for what you're going to be applying for. And this is something I see every person miss, not just even young professionals. A lot of our seasoned professionals and clients, they are not translating their skill set. So if you were a lifeguard, problem resolution, crisis management, like those are keywords you can use in your, search for a PR job or your marketing role. So make sure that you're paying attention to what you're targeting, and then translating and finding the gap between them, and really taking the keywords that you were using before and translate them for the hiring manager so they can see that you're a fit.
Yeah, basically just getting creative with your wording and just knowing how to apply your skills
Very much.
to other industries. All right, Briar Dougherty, the CEO and founder of Career Organics. If people want to get more information with regard to Career Organics, I'm assuming, what is your website?
www.careerorganic.com, and then our student program is www.careercram, and it's CRAM.com.
All right. Well, Briar, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for everything that you're trying to do for all of the job seekers out there. Thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.